What's up? Vihan here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to ask you to take a minute to think about how you approach your to-do list. You've likely got a bunch of things on your agenda every day, and you start out each day telling yourself that this is the day when you'll make it through your entire list. But somehow you always seem to only get to a few of these items, and the rest rolls over to the next day. This was the story of my life for several years until I began using a technique called timeboxing. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button if you like this video and subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell for more stuff like this every single week. Alright, let's get going. Timeboxing is a method by which you predetermine a fixed amount of time to complete a task and then work to complete that task within that time frame. The concept was first introduced by James Martin, the author of the book Rapid Application Development. The essence of this framework is to limit the time that you spend on any given task, especially if you have a fairly packed agenda. At the end of the time box, you declare your work done, no matter what, and then you assess whether you were able to meet your goals either completely or partially. Perhaps the person best known for using this method is billionaire entrepreneur and evil genius Elon Musk, who is known to work over 80 hours a week, splitting his time between his various companies: Tesla, SpaceX, The Boring Company, and OpenAI, to name a few. He even has time to de-stress fairly often and tweet his heart out whenever he feels like. The secret to his legendary productivity is that he plans out his day in increments and assigns blocks to each activity throughout his day, including emails, meetings, and even breaks. Now, there is such a thing as hard and soft time boxes, which is essentially the way that we approach a time box. With a soft time box, you can continue to work on a task until you complete it, even if the time that you previously allotted for it elapses. The point of using a soft time box is to let you know that you should probably wrap up whatever you're doing, or bring your focus back to the important aspects of your task. The more common and effective way to do this is with a hard time box. Once the time that you set for your task runs out, you drop that task and either take a break or move on to the next item on your agenda. Incorporating time boxing into your life requires a little bit of planning, where you think about how much time you want to allocate to any task. Decide how much time you're willing to give to that one thing so that you won't get caught up in all the other distractions that get thrown your way. It kind of all just starts with taking a look at your calendar as well as your to-do list and assigning appropriate amounts of time to each thing. In my experience, timeboxing has proven to be most useful when there are a bunch of things that I don't have motivation to complete or I don't want to spend a lot of time on. If you've watched my video on Parkinson's Law, you'll know that work expands so as to fill the time that's been allocated for its completion. For example, cleaning up your room for 15 minutes can be your sole goal. If you didn't set a fixed amount of time to get it done, you probably spend a couple minutes putting some stuff away and then the rest of the time jumping on the bed. One thing I would highly recommend is making time for breaks throughout your day. Personally, I find it pretty helpful to get up and walk around for about 15 minutes every hour and a half. Getting some air or a glass of water can do so much more for your ability to enter a state of flow, rather than trying to power through your natural limits. It's also important to take some time to assess whether each task requires a larger or smaller time box, depending on the progress that you've made, and ultimately you'll improve your performance. This is called a feedback loop, something that Musk himself is a strong advocate for. Timeboxing utilizes the principles of the Pomodoro technique to ensure your productivity for a fixed amount of time. Because sometimes all it takes is a ticking clock to make us feel a sense of urgency to maximize a short amount of time. When your time runs out, you have two options: move on to the next item on your agenda, or begin a new time box for your current item. It's completely up to you. The important thing to remember is that you don't let yourself get caught up in the moment and in what seems important to you right now. Moving on to the next agenda item, even when there's no clear conclusion, can actually help you be more productive. If you begin to feel frustrated by not having any results when your time runs out, you'll quickly adapt and begin to see results sooner in your time box as you keep doing it. One of the things I like to do is to break up a big task into a bunch of mini tasks that take an hour or so to complete, and you just create a time box for that mini task. This helps get me started working on that big task, and even if I complete that mini task, I end up feeling much better about myself and my productivity. The main goal of timeboxing is to have complete control over your schedule. By planning out the amount of time you spend on each item on your to-do list, you almost guarantee yourself improved productivity. Speaking for myself, timeboxing has not only allowed me to accomplish more throughout the day, but it's also given me the ability to feel a lot more satisfied about the fact that I was no longer a slave to my to-do list. If you like this video, I make a lot of them. Subscribe to the channel for more from me every week. or visit vihanchelliah.com to stay in touch and get a copy of my free productivity cheat sheet. That's it. Thanks for watching.